In the shadow of the Rocky Mountains, a city nestled on the plateau. It was Thornton, Colorado, a living portrait of Americana. A place where neighbors shared secrets over picket fences and kids ran free until sunset painted the skies. Our guide through this landscape is Desmond Hughes, a middle-aged man weighed by the sands of time, yet buoyed by an inherent kindness that ebbed from him like a comforting warmth. He was a living testament to resilience, having lived through the worst kind of loss. The death of his wife had left a void in him, a void he sought to fill with the pursuit of justice as a private investigator. His small office in downtown Thornton spoke volumes of his character. The wall of diplomas, certificates, and accolades showcased his pursuit of excellence, while a single faded photograph of his late wife on the desk hinted at a softer, vulnerable side. The story truly begins with a woman walking into this office, anxiety etched on her face. "Mr. Hughes, I heard you're the best we've got in this town," she began, her voice trembling. She introduced herself as Sandra, a regular at the Nether Void, a nightclub that pulsated at the heart of Thornton. Sandra's problem was peculiar. "It's not about money, Mr. Hughes, but my identity. It was stolen. My credit cards, socials, everything. The strange thing is, I'm not alone. It's happened to others who frequent the void too," she confessed, her fingers nervously playing with the strap of her purse. Desmond studied Sandra, a mixture of curiosity and concern blooming within him. His seasoned eyes could see she was genuine. He leaned back, steepling his fingers as he contemplated this unusual case. "I'll take it," he finally declared, drawn to the complexity and challenge of it. Career advancement was his beacon, guiding him through the uncertain territories of mysteries. Moreover, a part of him couldn't help but empathize with Sandra. The fear and uncertainty she felt were familiar companions of his own. The Nether Void, in its nocturnal splendor, was a curious anomaly, pulsating against the silent backdrop of Thornton. A symphony of kaleidoscopic lights, ebullient chatter, and resonating music created an atmosphere teetering on the precipice of hedonism and dread. Within its cavernous embrace, Desmond Hughes stepped lightly, his gaze sharp, his mind even sharper. As he navigated through the throng of patrons, he noted the frenzied dance of shadows on the walls, grotesque and monstrous forms intermingling with the rhythm of the music. Each shadow seemed independent of the person it belonged to, a subtle anomaly that sent chills down his spine. Yet the rational part of him, the seasoned detective, dismissed these apparitions as optical illusions, choosing instead to focus on the palpable. Over the course of several days, he submerged himself in the pulsating life of the nightclub. He interviewed clubgoers, bouncers, bartenders, anyone who could provide a thread of information. It was during one such interaction with a waitress, Jane, that he felt a significant shiver of dread. Jane, a lively woman with bright eyes and an easy smile, spoke of strange dreams she had since starting work at the club. "It's the shadows, Mr. Hughes," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "They dance, they whisper, they watch." His conversations were interspersed with quiet observations, each one slowly knitting together a tapestry of the unexplainable. There was no logical motive, no traceable footprints, just an inexplicable connection between the Nether Void and its patrons. Days turned into weeks, and the nightclub gradually began revealing its underbelly. His skepticism was eroding, chipped away by the mounting evidence of the uncanny. He felt a subtle shift in his understanding. His previously unwavering beliefs about reality started to tremble like a candle in the wind. As he walked out of the club one night, he felt the weight of unease settle on him. The town of Thornton, bathed in moonlight, seemed to hold its breath, as if expecting the unraveling of some dreadful secret. Amidst dust-laden tomes and forgotten lore of the Thornton local library, Desmond found himself immersed in the town's history. Here he stumbled upon a piece of folklore attached to the land where the Nether Void now stood, a chilling tale of portals to dark realms and unspeakable travelers from beyond the veil of reality. Yet his hardened investigator's psyche remained resilient, resistant to lend credence to such unsettling tales. But as he delved deeper into his investigation, his steadfast grip on reality began to falter. He met with another victim, Amanda, a woman haunted by the same dread as Sandra. Amanda was different, though. Her words were cryptic, her gaze distant. "They whisper in my dreams, Mr. Hughes," she murmured, her voice fraught with a fear that seemed to spring from an abyss beyond our realm. "They wear us like masks, like it's a game." A chilling sense of apprehension ran through him. Amanda's testimonial rang similar to Jane's fears, and he could not dismiss the uncanny coincidence. Over time, his perceptions started to warp, his sense of reality bending under the pressure of the extraordinary. He began experiencing startling anomalies himself. Reality seemed to fold upon itself, manifesting as horrifying hallucinations that would strike him randomly. The world around him would transform into twisted alien landscapes of unfathomable geometry and then snap back into its mundane guise. These moments, although transient, struck him with a terror that gnawed at his sanity. Each hallucination left him shaken, yet his resolve remained undeterred. His curiosity, coupled with his profound empathy for the victims, continued to push him forward. As terrifying as these glimpses were, they also pulled back the curtain of normalcy, revealing the disturbing underbelly of the Nether Void. Desmond was gradually coming to terms with the horrifying truth that the nightclub was more than it appeared. Desmond was no longer the man he used to be. His eyes, once sharp with rationality, now bore the weary look of someone who has gazed into the unknowable abyss and carries its haunting imprint. The quiet town of Thornton, once a symbol of tranquility, had transformed into a terrifying stage set for a cosmic horror. His every waking moment was plagued by horrifying hallucinations. His own perception had become a nightmarish funhouse mirror, twisting and turning reality into grotesque shapes. He observed the people around him distorting into shadowy, alien figures, only to regain their human form in the blink of an eye. In this whirlwind of the grotesque and the unreal, he clung to the one constant he had left: the case. Following the breadcrumbs of uncanny events, he continued to investigate the victims' stories, their dreams, their fears. Each shared a common thread, an inexplicable connection to the nightclub. One evening, amidst a thunderous storm, he decided to confront the monster in its lair. He walked into the Nether Void, not as a visitor but a truth seeker, determined to unveil the cosmic horror at its core. As he entered, a shiver ran through him. The pulsating rhythm of the club, the dancing shadows on the walls, and the loud chatter of the patrons were drowned by a low hum. It was a frequency that seemed to resonate not with his ears, but with his very being. It filled him with an unutterable dread, a haunting melody that came from the heart of the nightclub, from the belly of the beast. It was in this gut-wrenching moment that the horrifying truth revealed itself. The Nether Void was indeed a gateway for interdimensional travelers. These creatures, forged in the fires of a realm beyond human comprehension, stole identities to cloak themselves in human form, preying upon the unsuspecting inhabitants of Thornton. His blood ran cold at the revelation. His reality, his sanity, his very existence were threatened by the unseen enemy. Yet there was a glimmer of hope. He was no longer chasing shadows, but faced a tangible enemy. His career as a private investigator, his yearning for justice, his empathy for the victims, had all led him to this point, preparing him to face the unimaginable. Desmond found himself at the heart of an alien storm. He carried with him the knowledge of a dreadful secret and the weight of a town's fate on his weary shoulders. His journey, once driven by a hunger for career advancement, had mutated into a fight for survival, a crusade to shield his unsuspecting town from a terror they could not fathom. He stood a solitary guardian, armed with the potent weapons of resilience and empathy. His days were no longer filled with the routine mundanity of an investigator's life. Now he devoted his time to studying the ancient lore from the library, looking for a clue, a weapon, or a defense against the interdimensional invaders. The complex alien glyphs in the books started to take a comprehensible form in his mind. The shadows of the cosmic abyss that once terrified him were beginning to reveal their secrets. He stumbled upon a symbol recurring across the ancient texts, a talisman of sorts. His instinct, honed by years of detective work, told him it was the key to shielding the victims from the creatures of the Nether Void. With renewed vigor, he immersed himself in crafting the symbol, pouring his resilience and determination into it. In the bowels of the following night, the pivotal confrontation took place. Desmond, armed with the symbol and the courage of the damned, walked into the club, which was once a symbol of pleasure and thrill, now pulsing with an alien energy, the haunting frequency echoing through its dark corners. As he stood there, he invoked the talisman. What followed was an eruption of raw cosmic energy. The club-goers screamed and panicked as the once shadowy figures of the interdimensional beings were revealed in their grotesque reality, their cloaks of humanity stripped away. The confrontation was a terror-fueled dance. Desmond fought with a ferocity born of desperation. The talisman served as a beacon of hope, a tool that seared the malevolent entities, sending them back into their dreadful realm. As dawn broke, the Nether Void was silent. The interdimensional travelers had been expelled, their grip over Thornton released. The town, still oblivious to the cosmic horror it narrowly escaped, stirred into a peaceful morning routine. Desmond's story had led him down a path that altered his reality and tested his sanity. Yet he came out stronger, a beacon of hope in the darkness of cosmic horror. Thornton, his town, was safe, oblivious of the dance it had performed at the edge of a cosmic abyss. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe to our channel, where you can find more similar stories, and click on the bell icon to never miss one. There is plenty more cosmic horror to come from the Eldritch Tales Factory. Stay tuned, and until next time.